Praise be, bitches! I am InsaneLayne, and today we look at the Hulu series The Handmaid's Tale, Episode 2, Birthday. This is the first episode to have a recap, so I'll offer my opinion on recaps. I'm against them. I think they're overused and rarely needed, but my biggest point against them is they contain spoilers. For example, if a character has been out of the show for a few episodes, and then the recap includes the last scene they were seen in, we know they'll be returning in this episode. This is also why I avoid trailers for things I think I will like. That said, let's break down the episode.
Blue. I let it take me. Blue moon. Rhapsody in blue. Tangled up in blue. Blue oyster cult. Blue Monday.
We open with another ceremony night and we see how June survives them, by being elsewhere in her mind. This is a very effective means of preserving one's sanity in unsurvivable situations, like this one. Then this. I love how calm this is. It is perfectly normal to be sitting with friends as dead bodies are strung up for public display now. Corpse watching has become a group activity. And keep in mind, this wall is being used to show the might of the state, the power that they have, and to cause fear. Meaning they need fresh bodies every few days. How convenient that in Gilead the slightest infraction can result in death. As they walk home, we learn that all college professors were sent to the colonies, except those who were fertile like of Glen. Then something shocking.
St. Paul's. It was my dad's parish.
A church is being torn down. And why do I find that, of all things, shocking? Because of history. I'm going to break this down for a few minutes. In the simplest terms and the most convenient definitions, here is a brief history of religion, how it was treated, and why what's happening in Gilead is near unprecedented and deserving of a lot of attention. Think of Israel and Palestine. Both countries have holy sites that have stood for millennia while all hell raged around them. Hundreds of years of warfare, and still the holy and sacred buildings and sites are left standing. This is not by accident. This is because of the respect and fear that religion carries, and the power. When Catholic Rome conquered, everywhere, the religion of the land was largely Celtic paganism. But since everyone must be just like us because we have conquered, the priests and bishops were sent to convert everyone. That's a big task, and nearly impossible. People will fight over religion and their right to believe in whatever they want more than they will fight over land or even freedom. So, instead of failing, or just killing everyone and starting over, they converted the pagan religion itself. The best example of this is Christmas. In Catholicism and Christianity in general, it is the birthday of Jesus. But historical evidence at best says that if Jesus was a real person, he was probably born in the spring. But the Celts had a high holy day that was near the end of the year and was a time of celebration anyway, so they rebranded the holiday of Yule into Christmas and called the conversion a success. They would repeat this trick for centuries. Take Santeria. It's a mishmash of voodoo and Catholic beliefs. That's because voodoo was the only religion in Africa for the most part, but then came slavery, and with it Catholic missionaries, whose job it was to convert the locals. So they slapped saint names on the old pagan gods, added some incense, and the Lord saw that it was good. So why is Gilead acting like this? I mean, they even go so far as to...
They took down St. Patrick's in New York City, blew it up, and dumped every stone in the Hudson River.
There are a lot of reasons for this, but the main one, which I'll focus on for now, is that by erasing the past, it is easier to forget it. Forget that there was anything before Gilead. Names from before are gone. Jobs are gone. Lives are gone. Families are gone. And now they will take down the buildings and bury them, leaving nothing to remind us of the past or the way things were, leaving nothing to go back to should Gilead fall, as if they were trying to reset time itself. That look says it all. That this happens all the time, it can happen anywhere, and to anyone. Imagine living in that kind of fear. Imagine having to walk those streets every day. And then we learn there is a resistance. There had been some minor references to fighting in places. The references to oranges, so the fighting must be going well in Florida. But the best information on the state of Gilead we get in season 1 is here.
Now, the Guardians of the Faithful and American soldiers still fight with tanks in the remains of Chicago. Now, Anchorage is the capital of what's left of the United States. And the flag that flies over that city has only 2 stars.
If it wasn't clear already, this definitively proves that this is not America we're watching. This is something new that has come in and taken its place. But they do not have full control of the country. Their power is unstable, meaning that power can disappear as fast as bullets can fly. We then get the first appearance of the birthmobile, and we get this exchange.
I'll pray for good news.
Followed by this.
What will she give birth to? An unbaby with a pinhead? Or a snout like a dog's? Or no heart? Chances for a healthy birth are 1 in 5.
Births are usually portrayed as such a joyous, celebratory event, and there are elements of that. But now we know the stakes. 1 in 5. Dear God. And what is an unbaby? What happens to them? What happens to Janine if she gives birth to an unbaby? And the birthmobile doesn't pull up at a hospital because now giving birth looks like this. For the wives, that is, the handmaids and the person actually giving birth get this.
Hold. Hold. Breathe. 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 And hold.
It's crazy all around, far as Gilead's concerned. We then flash back to June's daughter's birth, and we get a good hard look at just how desperate the fertility situation has become.
Where are the babies?
Oh, we had a difficult night. 2 went to the intensive care unit, and the others are with God.
It is such a haunting image, and the question of whether June's baby will survive looms large. Though, of course, we know she does, it's still a very powerful and effective scene.
Would you like a cookie, dear?
You shouldn't spoil them. Sugar is bad for them.
Oh, surely 1 won't hurt. It is a special day.
Alfred, would you like a cookie?
Ugh! This scene! Oh, perhaps the best example of how handmaids are treated and thought of in general. The idiot wife, as I shall call her, talks to Alfred like she's a dog, and not a very smart one. Then second idiot pipes in with, "Oh, sugar isn't good for them." And with extreme reluctance and pure loathing on her face, Serena Joy is forced to offer Alfred a cookie. Though she looks like she's trying to poison the cookie with the sheer power of her hate. And they say how well-behaved Alfred is, and they smile at her, and yet the second her back is turned, she's only 2 steps away. Clearly, she can still hear you. She gets called a slut and a whore like all handmaids are. What a bunch of bitches. Now, a couple of thoughts. 1, does she have to say yes? I'm leaning hard towards yes, she does. Because saying no would be rude, and handmaids are supposed to do as they're told. She's being offered what they think is a reward or a special treat, and she should be grateful and blah blah blah. And yet, she spits it out. Now, this is a curious choice for me. I'm curious as to what you would do. Let me know in the comments. Would you have eaten it or spit it out to have that little moment of rebellion and I don't need your fucking cookie? For me, I would have eaten the cookie, because fuck those bitches, I got a cookie. Then the big moment, There is so much to unpack here. Let's start with this.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. Push, push, push. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
So this is how it's done now. In-home, no doctors, no medical staff, no monitoring of any kind, and they use a birthing chair. Actually, a double birthing chair. Yeah, the woman behind Janine who's testing how hard she can clench her teeth without breaking them, that's the wife that Janine is having the baby for. So why is she acting like she's the one physically giving birth? You'll have to check out my World Overview Part 2 because the episode doesn't explain within itself, so why should I when reviewing it? And then the most heartbreaking part. The baby is taken away and given to the wife, who is now moved to the bed that Janine was in. And poor, crazy Janine has to watch while another woman is the first to hold her baby and cuddle her baby and names her baby. All the wives and aunts have moved away, and everyone has forgotten about poor, crazy Janine. Well, not everyone. Side note, the all-white bed is miraculously clean for having had a laboring woman in it for God knows how long. The baby comes out surprisingly clean too. Even Janine's white nightgown doesn't have a speck of blood, amniotic fluid, sweat, poop. Must be the thread count. Then back to Hannah's birth, and we see just how bad has become.
Stay here. Oh my god.
A nurse has been killed, and June's baby is missing from its room. Who would do such a thing?
She's alive. My baby. I told them. She's not your baby. Of course she is.
This desperate, crazy woman whose baby died the night before, and she's gone a little insane. Did you catch this?
What's that?
There is a hospital-wide code specifically for this event, for a stolen baby. And if you're thinking, wow, that just shows how bad it's gotten, this is not something added for the show. That code very much exists in hospitals now. When a baby is born, both the baby, the parents, and anyone who is going to be seeing the baby get barcoded wristbands or something similar. And those stay on until the baby is taken home. And it's for the exact same reason as in the world of the show. Desperate people will do desperate things. That's true in any world. Then back to poor, crazy Janine, breastfeeding the baby for the first time. And we learned some background. She had a child before, a son named Caleb. And points to the show for showing real breastfeeding at a time when doing it in public, even with a blanket over so you're perfectly covered, has gotten the police called on women. And then the moment I've been leaving out so far. Alfred has been secretly summoned to the commander's office at 9 o'clock.
Beyond the commander's door is a place where women do not go. Not even Serena Joy.
The commander's office where even Serena Joy is not allowed to go. Then the monologue about horror movies. I could not stop laughing. It is brilliant, and it perfectly sums up the situation. She could well be delivering herself to her own doom. When the best case scenario being offered by a friend is this,
He probably just wants a blowjob.
I'd be hesitant to knock on that door too. But thankfully, Glenn is wrong. And what he really wants is...
I'd like to play a game with you.
And no, it's not a sexy game, and it's not even code. No, he really means a game, in this case, Scrabble. But I don't think the commander is paying much attention to the Scrabble. No, he spends the whole time watching her like a creeper. He also says there will be a next time when he returns from meetings. She gets a little information out of him, and he flirts a little, implying that Ovglen was not entirely incorrect. There will be more to this, and it's very unlikely it's going to end well for June. But for now, it seems she's safe, and she's barely able to contain her laughter at the absurdity of the situation. She's so happy the next morning, the Breakfast Club anthem is blaring in her head. And well, it should be. For once, things are kind of okay.
Glenn. I can tell her that the commander is going to Washington. Will she be surprised by the Scrabble game? She'll be glad I let him win. I know that much. She'll be proud of me for that. Fuck.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up Gilead. Made me laugh?
Please, God, don't let me be a fucking moron.
Because I couldn't have said it any better myself. You go, girl. For Janine, giving birth to new life. There is nothing more you go, girl, than that. Nitpick award. For no explanation given for why the wife is acting like she's the one in labor and giving birth, and for the bed, sheets, and nightgown and baby being way, way too clean. Ironic feminist. Do you have to ask? It's the idiot wife who offers Offred a cookie. I know she thinks she's being nice, but how she speaks to Offred just makes me want to slap her. Dick of the episode is once again the commander for his line,
See if you can squeeze me in.
and for whatever this is. Though props to Fiennes on the delivery, he gives just the right hint of evil bastard. And that is episode 2 of the Hulu series The Handmaid's Tale, Birthday. I am InsaneLayne. Blessed be, bitches. Bye-bye. Hey, 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 hey! Won't you come see about me? I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving me everything inside and out. And love's strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we were working on. Slow change may pull us apart when the light gets into your heart, baby. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about